This is the Taeyang-go. On board is Kim Jong Un, the ruler of North Korea. He almost never leaves his country. But when he does, he travels on rail, in the so-called moving fortress. Right now, he just left Pyongyang. His destination is the Vostochny Kosmodrome in Russia to meet Vladimir Putin. The journey will take him around 2 days and well over 1,000 kilometers through foreign land. Kim has many enemies. How does the Taeyang-go keep him safe? Only a few North Koreans have access to the regular internet. If you're able to watch this video, you're probably living in a country that allows you to access all the websites and platforms the world has to offer. Well, most of them. NordVPN can help you bypass geo-blockings. Streaming sites such as Disney Plus often have drastically different catalogs depending on where you're surfing from. Select a country and enjoy content that's usually not available in your area. Platforms like Booking.com often have different prices in different countries as well. Use a VPN to find the cheapest offer and save some money. Additionally, the built-in darknet monitor can notify you when your personal data is being leaked online. Threat protection can block harmful advertising and trackers. Go to nordvpn.com/FernTV and get an extra 4 months on a 2-year plan, plus a 30-day money-back guarantee for your secure online journey. We appreciate NordVPN for sponsoring this episode. By checking them out, you support our reporting. The Taeyang-go is escorted by 2 additional trains. One drives ahead to check for dangers, like planted explosives on the tracks or ambushes on the sides. The other one secures the back. It is filled with heavily armed security, ready to rush to the Supreme Leader's rescue, if need be. A helicopter scouts the area ahead. He accompanies the convoy the entire time Kim is traveling through North Korean territory. Cargo planes station additional personnel at the closest airports along the route. The Taeyang-go has reinforced bulletproof windows. Its walls and bottom are hardened to withstand explosions. Multiple compartments are carrying heavy weaponry. The train is equipped to fight back against attacks from above with anti-aircraft missiles. It also carries anti-tank missiles and 2 machine guns to aggressively fend off attacks from either side of the tracks. If all defenses fail, the train carries a helicopter so Kim can flee from the scene. All this makes Kim's train extremely safe, but also extremely heavy. The Taeyang-go travels at only 60 kilometers per hour, sometimes even slower, due to the poor condition of railways in North Korea. When the train passes by a station, the power is cut off on all other tracks. There are 20 railway stations in the country that were built solely for this one train. Because of the slow speeds, Kim might be on the road for several days on end, just like during this particular trip to meet Putin. On board, he has everything he needs to govern his country day and night. An office with a desk, laptop, television, fax machine, satellite phone, and a map of China and the Korean peninsula on the wall. A reception room. A meeting room with a table. The interior style is quite eclectic. Most rooms are entirely white with shiny wooden floors. There are green and hot pink sofas, ivory and turquoise curtains, flower-shaped lamps, and zebra-patterned fabric seats. But the highlight of the train is the restaurant. On board, you can find all sorts of delicacies from Korean, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, and French cuisine. Kim Jong Un won't get bored during the journey either. The train has singers on board who serenade the Supreme Leader personally. When stepping off the train, 2 on-board armored Mercedes limousines are unloaded for the last mile. Train travel has a long tradition in the Kim family. This is the Kumujin Palace, where the remains of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il are laid to rest. Right next to their remains, you'll find life-size models of their personal train carriages. There's even said to be a painting of Kim Jong-il proudly standing next to his train, a map with small lights shows the many journeys they took. Taking the train started as a safety precaution. Kim Jong Un was reportedly also just a bit afraid of flying. In 2001, he took a train journey lasting almost a month, all the way to Moscow, covering a total of 20,000 kilometers. A Russian official named Konstantin Pulikovsky accompanied him. After the journey, he published a book about his experiences, much to the irritation of both the Russian and North Korean governments. That's because for a long time, the Korean leaders' trains were shrouded in utter mystery. It was never announced when they would move and where. Also, the interior was largely kept secret. In 2004, Kim Jong-il's train passed the Yongchung station near the border with China. Just hours later, a massive explosion killed about 160 people and injured 1,300 more. Supposedly, a train parked at the station laden with oils and chemicals was hitting power lines. There were speculations that this might have been an assassination attempt. That's not entirely unlikely. There have been many reports of internal power struggles in North Korea over the decades. The security of the train was reportedly boosted after the incident. In 2009, Russian photographers were banned from taking pictures of the train while it was en route to the then President Dmitry Medvedev. Entire villages in Siberia were instructed to stay indoors until the train had passed. In the era of smartphones, this is no longer possible and, in some cases, not really desired, because the train also serves propaganda purposes. The Taeyang-go fittingly means sun. It has become a powerful symbol for North Korea. Kim Jong-un is said to use it to appear down to earth and close to the people, in stark contrast to the lofty image of the US president in his giant jumbo jet. And political leaders traveling by train is one way or another a symbol. After the invasion of Ukraine, the airspace above the country became unsafe. Many Western leaders started to visit Kiev by train through Poland. This has been coined as iron diplomacy. In the case of North Korea, the Taeyang-go in some ways accentuates just how uniquely isolated the country is. The supreme leaders rarely, or perhaps never, visit most parts of the world. There is also a certain irony in the train supposedly symbolizing the modesty of the Kim family. Journeys always have a destination. Kim's train finally arrives at Vostochny Kosmodrome. He is greeted with one of the longest and perhaps most uncomfortable handshakes in history. Then, Putin gives him the full tour, a spaceport, an aircraft factory, and the Pacific Fleet. Later, there's vodka, a ballet performance, and a walrus show. The reason the two men meet is quite serious, however. Russia is running low on ammunition and allies in its war against Ukraine. North Korea has enormous stocks of ammo and is not afraid to supply it. In return, the country could receive technical support from Russia for building new satellites and missiles for its nuclear weapons program. No official outcome has been announced, but Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov recently visited Pyongyang shortly after the meeting. He thanked North Korea for its support in the Ukraine conflict and reaffirmed the partnership between both countries. North Korea, in turn, officially recognized the territories captured by Russia as Russian sovereign territory. Lavrov didn't commit on weapons deliveries, but according to the US government, North Korea has already delivered over 1,000 containers of ammunition and military equipment to Russia. North Korea and Russia both have very few international allies left. While the Taeyang-go tries to be a symbol of power for North Korea, it is also a sign of the country's deep isolation. Vladimir Putin has accepted an offer to visit Kim Jong-un in return. This would be a good chance for him to take his very own ghost train.